Here it is, guys. Welcome to the Sports Kings Super Bowl 60 prediction show. I'm your host, Mean Gene. I am not in Houston, Texas. As you can see, I am live from Carlsbad, California, guys. I wanted to give you guys a good view of where I'm at, but the sun is shining so bright I couldn't get it in the picture. But Jacob Meadows is right there in Houston, and Denny's about an hour up the highway from me in Corona, California. So, guys, hey, Dustin Pfeiffer is going to be joining us a little bit later. We got all sorts of things to talk about today here with this big game that's going to happen tomorrow. And look, man, we're a little bit over 24 hours before the big game. And Jacob, uh, I know you're excited. I know we thought it could have been the Texans, but we're past that now, right?
Yeah. It was exciting. It just so happens that we had, a quarterback worse than Shadur Sanders most of the season somehow. Well, I blame Nick Caley, but there's so many other problems there. I am excited, though. This is so excited's a strong word, right? I don't think it's going to be a good game. Right? I do think it's going to be a bit of a lopsided Super Bowl one, something that we've seen a couple times, at least in my lifetime. I've seen a couple times, but not all that many. But I am excited. I'm excited to see the Seahawks on the big stage. I'm excited to see Mike McDonald in the Super Bowl in his second year in Seattle. I'm excited to see what Clint Kubiak does. Shout out Bobby. The Raiders hired Clint Kubiak, which was arguably the best hire they could have made, in my opinion. He is from the Kubiak tree, which Gary Kubiak's my favorite Texans coach of all time. Shout out Clint Kubiak. And I'm stoked. Super Bowl's my Christmas. I love the Super Bowl. So this whole week has been exciting on the Meadows family home front.
All right. So Dennis Sharman, Denny, I love your background. Denny, you don't have a dog in this fight. I think I heard that somewhere from somebody this week.
Yeah, I won't say any names because I don't want to get sued. But I always have my Cowboys support on. But like you guys, this is my Super Bowl. This should be a national holiday. We're gonna have a little get together here in Corona, California. So I got our Super Bowl squares all over the place. But after the Cowboys didn't have a chance this year making the playoffs, I was rooting for both Drake May and some of these rookie quarterback or second year quarterbacks, along with Sam Darnold. A great story, comeback story. Watching these two go at it, I'm looking forward to like Jacob being the Super Bowl, being the Christmas of my year. I think it's going to be a little closer. It'll be a dogfight. The defenses are both very strong, but I love the offense. I mean, Sam Darnold can throw over 300 yards. Drake May's done it too. You got Jackson Smith-Nigma over here. You got Cooper Kupp with the comeback story. You got Stephon Diggs with the comeback story. I love the receivers. I love the firepower that each one of them can do. The rumor is, I mean, the analysts will tell you there's a lot. It's going to be a defensive struggle, but we know they come to play in the Super Bowl. There's no holding back. Nobody's going to be checking out on this one. So I'm really looking forward to this one, guys.
Same here, guys. I mean, look, Jacob, it's crazy right now. Jacob, I'm with some of the same guys you met last year when we were in New Orleans. We did our Super Bowl show from the French Quarter. I'm nowhere near Super Bowl 60. Okay, that's what 8 hours away from me up the coast there, Interstate 5. But I know the excitement that's happening up there. We've been around these Super Bowls, been to a few Super Bowls, and I mean it's a magical moment. And I always say this, guys, you got to put it on your bucket list. I mean, look, if you don't have any kids to send to college, go ahead and spend the money and get you a $25,000 ticket and go and go to the game. Because look, I can say that because I've never paid to go to a Super Bowl thanks to media credentials. I don't know where I'm getting $25,000 from either, so I'm with you on that. But look, Jacob and Denny, also, man, you guys know, man, the atmosphere. They're having a good time up there in Santa Clara. Are you guys surprised that Levi Stadium was able to get the Super Bowl so quick after what they got Well, 10 years ago, right? They hosted Super Bowl 50.
Yeah. I wasn't surprised. It's a beautiful venue, right? California is massive, large football population. They've got a lot of football fans out there, courtesy of a handful of teams, kind of like what Texas has. And, it's one of those things where it makes sense as a location. Would I love to see it elsewhere? Sure. But it's a beautiful location. And there's very few stadiums because Levi's is still new, right? Ish. There are only so many new-ish stadiums that can compete with it in terms of being nice, in terms of having modern amenities, right? And people like going there. So the weather, I imagine, is nice. I see you in a hoodie, but you're in a hoodie when it's 80 degrees. So it probably feels good. And it's good football weather. Justin, what's up, dude?
What's up, everybody?
What's going on, Dustin?
What's going on? Can y'all see me?
Yep.
What's going on, Dustin Pfeiffer?
I'm trying to get my phone
We
set.
got
I
you.
got a
We got you. You got to stop moving around.
All right.
You're making us dizzy as hell this morning.
Listen, man, I'm on the move. I'm trying here. I'm trying. Y'all
Well,
ready
look
for the
here.
game?
We were just talking about, we ready for the game. We were just talking about the venue. Jacob was, we were talking about just 10 years ago, Super Bowl 50 was right there at I know, Dustin. That was the Panthers, and we won't go there. But we're just talking about the venue. We're talking about Levi Stadium. We were just shocked that it was able to get the Super Bowl really quick there within 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like Jacob said, it's California, so you got to understand why they're doing it there. I don't like the venue. I just think the stadium's kind of, even though it's new, it's kind of average. I mean, I think a rotating basis, you should probably look at Vegas. You should probably look at Miami, New Orleans. I mean, you could really rotate from just a few cities and keep it a big party. So is it in California? Great. But I know, Gene, you know this being there, the media, they're having to drive like an hour from their hotels just to get to Media Row and stuff. It's just a weird place, I think, to have it. But I get why it's in California.
Yeah, that's true. Certain cities, I think I was in Phoenix, Arizona, Houston, Texas. Everything is just right there. Jacob, at the George R. Brown Center, they had the media people there. Even in Phoenix, we were downtown. We had everything. We were close. Some cities are not like that. But hey, next year, guys, Denny, you're the host, man. Next year, we coming to Southern California. It says SoFi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I agree with all you guys. I mean, the West Coast, the weather definitely plays a factor. NFL doesn't want to have a chance that there's going to be any snow or any storms that we're dealing with on the East Coast. So having it on the West Coast, I agree on the rotation. There's plenty of nice stadiums here, but I'm with you guys. Santa Clara, I've been up there before at Levi. It is in a weird location because if you've been watching all weekend, all the parties, it's in San Francisco, it's in Oakland. When they say the Bay Area, no one says the Bay Area is Santa Clara. They say the Bay Area is San Francisco and Oakland. So, Too Short's an ambassador up there, E40 up there. Those guys never rap about Santa Clara. So you're right. It takes a minute to get there. It is a weird spot. But I mean, it's one of the newer stadiums, and it can hold a lot, and the weather's going to be great. So, but I heard the NFL wish list, their bucket list is to have a Super Bowl outside of the country, which, oh my God, can you imagine those ticket prices? Like, I mean, it was just crazy. Yeah.
No, but look, the NFL is going to do anything for this right here. When it comes to this, they have no shame, right? They will, believe me, if that's what they want to do, that's what they're going to do. All right, guys, let's get ready here. Let's kind of set the stage here. We got the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks. They're going to meet tomorrow, February 8th, okay, 6:30 Eastern time. So in case, you need to chart that out in your schedule. Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. Now, it would mark the first Super Bowl since 1970 between teams that ranked in the top 4 in scoring offense and defense in the regular season. So somehow, Dustin, Jacob, and Denny, Dustin, we'll start with you. It always just ends up being sort of, the teams that's supposed to be here, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you don't get two top seeds too often. Like it's hard to get the one seeds, and obviously Denver lost in this game, but you still got two of the top teams who had two of the best records for most of the regular season. So it's not a huge surprise. You could see that these two teams were battling for the one seed throughout the whole regular season. And again, what you just said, Gene. We talk about this all the time. The fine line, because there's a lot of parity in the NFL. There's a lot of teams who can get into the playoffs, but when you really want to make that deep run, it's about how you build your roster as an organization and have that depth on both sides of the ball. And if you can be balanced to have a good defense and a good offense, you're going to give yourself a chance to be here in the end. And we've seen great offenses carry a team and great defenses carry a team, but those kind of are one-offs. You got to have a balanced team on offense and defense that has depth, and both of these teams have that. I know New England's offense hasn't been great this postseason, but Drake, let's not forget Drake May was an MVP candidate and barely missed winning the MVP in the regular season. So I know he hasn't had a great postseason, but their offense has been good. And same with Seattle. Their defense is very good. And then Sam Darnold stepping up. So you see the balance in these two teams, and that's why they're here.
Jacob, does it make the Super Bowl exciting? Go ahead, Jacob.
No, what were you going to say?
No, I was going to say, does it make the Super Bowl exciting having two teams that didn't make the playoffs from the previous year? Do you think it's a disappointment that we don't have the Buffalo Bills and the Rams and the 49ers of the world, or the Chiefs, for that matter?
Not even remotely. I actually think that it's going to boost viewership, I think, having two teams that we're not used to seeing here in the big game. But like personally, on a personal note, no, I think it's much more exciting. I do think that this should be Denver, right? Stiddy City let me and the rest of the country down and taking down the Patriots.
You no longer can say Stiddy City. That's out.
Oh yeah, no, Stiddy City let us down a little bit, and that sucks for Denver, right? I hate Sean Payton. I'm Dustin, cannot stand Sean Payton, but what an exceptional year the Denver Broncos had under him, and watching Bojangles go down the second to last play of that game with a broken ankle and then having to miss, and then them barely losing to the Patriots. That sucks for Denver, sucks for any fan of Denver.
I think we lost him.
It's cool seeing the Patriots get here, right? Braves is a first-time head coach in New England. And it's phenomenal what he did with the team, right? Immediate turnaround when Braves took over. The offense is a machine. Like Dustin said, the offense has been semi a letdown here in the postseason. They've also played nothing but inclement weather, which doesn't help them. We will see a very different New England offense tomorrow during the Super Bowl in Santa Clara, right? Which is great. And then on the flip side of it, like I said in my intro, right, Mike McDaniel, this is awesome that Seattle made it. It's awesome that their defense is a juggernaut. It's awesome that you're going to see JSN and Cooper Kupp playing. Kenneth Walker's my X factor for them, right? He's been playing out of his mind this postseason. So I just think that all the intangibles that go into what this game is this year is incredible. I think that we couldn't have drawn, unless the Texans were there, we couldn't have drawn a better card, right? Texans-Panthers might have been a better matchup because they both suck. But where, it's a masterpiece, right? The script writers got it right. It's a good game. It's a good matchup. It's going to be in an open-air area. It's going to feel good outside. We're going to get perfect ball from two good teams that were good all year.
So we got two coaches here in the Super Bowl within the first two seasons as a head coach. So how much does this say about Mike McDonald and Mike Vrabel?
Well, defense wins championships is what they always say, right? And so looking forward and seeing two coaches, younger coaches, it's kind of, we said goodbye to Pete Carroll just recently. We said goodbye to Bill Belichick. Some of the old school mentality. So it's a kind of a changing of the guard when it comes to the coaches. So it's really fun to see some trick plays in the West. Well, I don't know if you still call it the West Coast offense, but the running gun, RPOs, those. That's what people want to see. That's what the generation is looking for. That's why receivers are closing in on 2,000 yards and running backs are a dime a dozen. I mean, not even breaking 1,000 yards anymore. But it's exciting to see two teams And in baseball and even in basketball and sometimes in football, they say, well, it's not going to be an exciting game because it's not a big market. There's not going to be a lot of viewership. Well, screw, you can throw that out the window, right? Because you got even though Seattle might not be a big market team, it's still one of the biggest viewerships across all of America and all sports. That you can't. That it doesn't matter, right? I'm with you guys in saying, this is going to be exciting. There's always all these storylines behind it. Sam Darnold, 24, 25 years old, maybe on his fifth team already. That's amazing. Drake May, and then Grable being let go, and now coming on to his former team. Going to be only the fifth coach possibly to win as a player and a coach on the same for a Super Bowl. I mean, that's a comeback story. Mike McDonald being the third youngest coach to ever do this, that gives hope for all these youngsters out there that's saying, hey, I want to be an NFL coach. I don't have to be 60, 70 years old and wait for my chance. I can get a chance now. And I know a couple of sessions ago, we talked about we had 9 head coaching vacancies. It just keeps getting younger and younger. Right. So not surprising. And again, looking forward to great matchup with some run pass options. So looking forward to it.
Hey, Dustin, didn't he talk about these young coaches? How about young quarterbacks? How about the fact that Drake May can become the youngest quarterback to ever win the Super Bowl at 23 years old here? I mean, this would definitely surpass what Ben Roethlisberger did. So, I mean, this has got to be incredible.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable story, and I can touch on Drake May because it's crazy to think he's a Charlotte kid. He played high school football 15 minutes from where I live, so I've watched him play all his high school games. Watched him play football at University of North Carolina. He was originally going to go to Alabama, and then when Mac Brown got that job, he switched and went to North Carolina. But he was a two-way athlete in high school. He was the best football player on the field, and he was one of the best basketball players on their team. He is just an athlete. I think his athleticism is underrated. I actually think in this game that they may have to find a way to use his legs more in this game to kind of stifle that Seattle defense that's very good. But it's an unbelievable story, and not just the fact that he made it here in his second year, but again, I'm going to say it again. He was one vote from being the MVP of the National Football League. It's unbelievable to think about. It also makes me throw up in my mouth a little bit, even though he's a Charlotte kid, that the Patriots go from Tom Brady, take a couple of years off, and then get right back to another guy who's going to be here for a decade to 15 years. Like, it's really not fair when you think about it. It reminds me of the whole Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers thing to Jordan Love. Like, some of these teams just get super lucky to have a quarterback in place for this long. But I think people are underestimating Drake May going into this game. They're thinking about Sam Darnold having the best game of his career. They're thinking about that Seattle defense being the best in the league, and that may all be true. But to what Jacob said, Drake May has played in inclement weather games all playoffs. Like, he has the arm. He has the leg. He has one of the strongest arms in the league. I think he's going to have a great game in this Super Bowl, and it's going to make it a fascinating game to watch.
I agree with you on that. Jacob, I want to take this to you. So, Jacob, I like doing trivia with you, okay? and follow me. You know what? You always get it wrong, but I think you might get this one right, Jacob, okay? So, when you think about quarterbacks that have won the Super Bowl in their first season as the quarterback. Now, I'm going to give you Sam Darnold can become one of those. Okay, so he would be the fourth. Who are the other 3 that have won a Super Bowl in the first year with their new team?
Oh, hell. I have no idea.
Come on. Don't give up that easy.
Is one Tom?
Yeah, one is Tom Brady. Tom Brady.
That was the easy one.
Yeah, that was
the easy one.
So how deep into the annals of history am I having to go for this? Because
you don't have to look. Okay, with one of them, you don't have to go. This guy actually was playing with a team, and he got traded. The 2 quarterbacks got traded, and he went to the other team and won the Super Bowl.
Oh, Staffy, right? Matt
okay,
Stafford.
that was good.
Yeah.
This other one you're not going to get. So let me just say Trent Dilfer. Okay, no one ever thinks of Trent Dilfer.
I was going to take a shot in the dark, and Trent Dilfer was not at the top of the list. So
yeah. Trent, we don't even know where he came from to even get into this damn category. Okay, but he's in the category. But let's go ahead and talk about Sam Darnold a little bit. And Denny, I'm going to give you an opportunity here because I know you. Me and you both are USC fans, so you've seen Sam Darnold play his college ball. But man, is it incredible when we already know the Minnesota Vikings are already committing suicide. That whole organization is committing suicide, right? For letting this guy go. But isn't it incredible to see how this guy's been beat up over the years, 5, 6 teams, whatever, and now he's got a chance to win a Super Bowl?
You know what? Much props to Sam. I'm glad you gave me that question because I'd love to talk about how humble this guy is and how much class he has because he easily can just give the middle finger to the Jets and to the Panthers. Sorry, Dustin, but
Hey.
And to the Niners for letting him go and not giving him the opportunity. But I mean, the fifth team to be on the fifth team and now get his chance. And Minnesota, like you said, committing suicide. Won 14 games with the Vikings, but they saw the potential or believe in the potential of JJ, which is a burnout. So to see him perspire through that, then go to San Francisco, which was like, all right, well, what am I doing to do here? I ain't doing nothing here. Ends up with the Seahawks and just does his job. And even on the podium saying, oh, how does it feel? What's it feel like? He goes, I'm just glad to be here. I'm just glad to play with this team and to win another 14 games and head off into the Super Bowl. You know what's funny, Gene? I was actually at the Rose Bowl game when he lit up Penn State and won in dramatic fashion. That's when Saquon was on the other team. I mean, it was amazing what he was doing in the Rose Bowl with SC against Penn State. And it kind of catapulted him into the draft that year. I mean, he was already a smart-minded guy, and he was only 20 years old. He couldn't even buy himself a drink when he was with the New York Jets. So to get to this point and be as humble as he is, I mean, it is just awesome. And I can tell you, SC family out here is so excited and rooting for this guy all over Southern California.
Well, Gene, let me say this, Gene, because I do have to hop off here in like 2 minutes. Because as you know, if you have an 8-year-old, they basically run your schedule. So that's basically where I'm at today. So
Absolutely.
I don't want to spoil y'all's picks, but let me just tell you what I think real quick about the game. I agree with everything that you all have said. I think this is going to be a fascinating game. When you have two balanced teams on defense and offense, it really is going to come down to the coaching adjustments and things like that. And these two guys, Mike McDonald and Vrabel, like you said, you got to give them a lot of credit. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do. I know everybody, and I'm sure Jacob's going to do this too at the end of the show. Everybody's going to be all over Seattle's bandwagon because I'm going to be honest, everything I'm hearing is really most people saying that they think Seattle is going to win this game. I don't hear a lot of people giving New England a chance, even though they've had one of the better records. They talk about New England's schedule and how it's weak and this and that, and they played a backup quarterback to get to the Super Bowl. This team knows how to win. They play defense. They run the football. They take care of the ball. Everybody talks about Seattle's defense, but the Patriots defense has been damn good in these playoffs. I know it's been bad weather games, but they dominated Houston. They dominated Denver when they had to, even with the backup quarterback. And I know Sam Darnold, I'm not hating on him. He's had an unbelievable year and he's finally got over the hump. But let's not forget he had his best game against the Rams, which was great. But the Rams defense has been leaking oil the last 4 or 5 weeks of the season. Even the Panthers put up a lot of points on them in the playoffs. So I think the Patriots can give Sam Darnold some trouble. I do think this is going to be a close game, and it could come down to a field goal kicker. That's how close this game is. But I'm going to take the upset, and I'm taking the New England Patriots. I think people are doubting Drake May, who was an MVP candidate, and I think he's going to put on a show on the big stage, and I think he's going to make some big-time throws, whether it's to Diggs or Hunter Henry, some of his other receivers. I think I'm going to go 24-21. Drake May leads them on a game-winning drive and kicks the game-winning field goal to knock off the Seattle Seahawks.
Wow.
Wow. Well, look here, Dustin. I know you got to go.
I don't have the upset graphic, Gene, but if you got the side, listen, I'm taking the upset.
It doesn't matter. Wait a minute now. Can we add this? Wait a minute. We got one more person we're gonna add in here. This is a historic moment, okay?
Oh my
Downtown
goodness.
Wayne Brown is on. You know what? Something's gonna happen. The end of the world is approaching.
Hey,
What's up, Wayne?
Yes.
hey, I thought Dustin would be coaching to the championship right about now.
Hey, listen, Wayne, we lost in the semifinals at a close game. You know, Blake, my son, had 7 points. He played great. 7 of our 13 points.
Okay.
He played great. So it was a good finish to the season. We got all-stars coming up. But listen, I tried to coach him to the championship. I just couldn't get him over the hump.
Okay. Were you selected to coach the All-Star game as the coach?
I am assisting in the All-Star.
All right,
so
all
we
right.
will get ready for that. Blake's playing All-Stars. Listen, he's got baseball tryouts tomorrow and All-Star basketball next week. As I told the guys, I have to get out of here because I live on my 8-year-old's calendar. That's all my life is these days. So
That's
I wanted to
right.
get in here. I wanted to get in here and see y'all and get my pick in. And Wayne, to see you pop on before I get out of here made my day. So I'm glad
Oh,
we're
my
all
goodness.
on here at one time.
Jesus. Much love.
Absolutely. All right, Dustin. Hey, good luck, man. Get that championship, and we're gonna make our predictions here in a little bit. But glad you were able to come on here, and we'll talk about this. We'll talk about this next week when we do our.
All right, appreciate it, guys. Y'all have fun, and I'll talk
Good
to
luck.
you soon.
Good luck, coach.
Later, homie.
Good luck with you.
Thank you.
All right, Dustin Pfeiffer, folks. Man, that is awesome that Dustin was able to jump on. But all right, let's talk downtown Wayne Brown here. Okay, Wayne, we've talked about these quarterbacks. We talked about and Wayne, me and you covered Super Bowl in San Diego. So we started off the show with just some of the things that are happening like today, this weekend, and with the teams and stuff. So just real quick, your thoughts on these two particular teams that made the Super Bowl. Are they the right teams to be playing the Super Bowl 60?
I like to say in the NFC, I like to say Seattle is a true representation for the NFC. I mean, I thought they played well all season. And, for the knock to be on Sam Darnold the way it's been, I mean, going back leaving out of USC and coming in and going to the Jets and then wherever he went from there, Carolina and the other teams, I mean, he just haven't had a break. But now that he's gotten a break, actually thought Minnesota should have kept him, but that's for another day. But, Sam Darnold, I think he's a true representation of what should be here. Now, when it comes to New England, I thought, I didn't think they played all that great, but they played well enough to win. I thought their defense kept them in there and played well enough to win. I don't have confidence in their offense. So even though Drake May in his second year, he's playing some good ball, but coming out of college, I thought he was going to be, Daniels coming out of North Carolina. I thought he was going to be the same quarterback. Duke, North Carolina. I thought they were the same type of quarterback, but I guess it proves when you get with the right OC that they can take you a long way.
That makes a difference. Hey guys, I want to acknowledge a couple of guys. We got the chat comments, but Uncle G, thanks for hanging in there with us. Yeah, you've been with us for a while now. But I do want to acknowledge this Todd Brady 183 major Pats fan from the UK. All right, this is cool. The fact that we got somebody all the way over there in the UK that's logging on, and I don't know what it is, 8-9 hours ahead of us. But hey, Todd Brady, thanks for jumping on here. That's incredible stuff. So look here, guys.
Todd Brady, is he going to continue to be a Pats fan when there become when an NFL team move to the UK? Will he continue to be a Pats fan, or will he be the fan of that team that moves there, maybe New Orleans or whomever, Tennessee, whomever moved there? Because there's going to be a team in the UK before too long.
Hey, look here, man. We got NFL football going on over there. And you know what? Right before you came on, Wayne, we was talking about Jacob and Dustin and Denny about the fact that the NFL is even thinking about having a Super Bowl overseas. I mean, what's your thoughts on that? I mean, is that just a crazy ideal, or is it the NFL going after the dollars again?
They're going after the dollars. I don't know if we're quite ready for that yet, but they're going after the dollars. So I don't think they're quite ready for that yet. But to move a team over there, a team or two, somewhere over there would be a good start for them.
Well, look here. You know what, Jacob, I tell you what, you get us over in London, man. We're there. Can we give you that task?
Flight's on me. I got miles for days. Let's go, boys. Jacksonville game. They haven't moved them officially, but that is the team over the pond. We can go catch a Jacksonville game in London, and it's on me, boys.
Right.
All right, guys. Hey, look here. This is what we need to do. We need to get into the nitty-gritty of making our picks. Okay, that's what all of our listeners want to know. They want to know what the Sports Kings think. And look, between all of us, we have seen some major games. We've been at Super Bowls. We've talked to these some of these coaches, some of these players. As a matter of fact, I wanted to add that 2018, Denny, you brought up Saquon and Sam Darnold. I was at that draft in Dallas, Texas. Had a chance to interview both of those guys, and the thought that both of those guys have been in the Super Bowl. Well, one of them has won one, and it just shows how remarkable, Denny, that 2018 draft was.
Yeah, it's I guess I was talking about the journey that these play. Yeah, I'm here. You hear me?
I can hear you.
I hear you.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll talk about the journey from 2018. I mean, there's a lot of players. I mean,
all right. Look like so.
Gene, he's good. We can all hear it. Your California air is all filling your ears, and you can't. But Denny, keep going. Do your thing, man. The crowd can hear you.
All right. I know Todd Brady over there from UK can hear me. So, 2018 was that draft class that everybody thought all these other guys would have first shot at it. To think that the guy who's, again, been on his fifth team from USC that started with the Jets is the first one to make it to the Super Bowl out of all those other quarterbacks we're talking about. Was Lamar's year, Josh Allen, I can't remember all the other ones, but he's exceeded the expectations and blew past everybody else. A fun fact, I collect cards too, and I saw the football card of Sam Darnold, the ups and downs. At one point when he got hurt and was down, the card, it started off at $300-400. I'm just showing you how this game works, right? It went all the way down to you could have got that card for $100. You know what was trending on last week before in the bye week between the championship game and Super Bowl? $1,800.
Wow.
That's how the stock of these players have gone, and somebody like Sam Darnold is going, which is just tells you even more about the journey that he's been through, where everybody was writing him off. All those other teams that wrote him off, to be where he is now is amazing. Saquon, similar story. I mean, we could have been saying the same story about Saquon last year, as when the Giants had wrote him off and got rid of him. And you send him down to Philadelphia, and what's he do? Goes for 2,000 yards. It's amazing. Of course, being a Cowboy fan, I didn't want to see him stay in the division or run all over the Cowboys, but give props to the guy who they had wrote him off. I'm sure the other teams were lining up to get him. The Eagles snatch him up, and you're talking about an MVP year last year from a guy that the Giants just gave away. It's incredible. And these guys are 2018 draft. I mean, we're talking. Feel like it was just yesterday, but that's 8 years ago. A lot of those players aren't even around anymore. So it says a lot about what those guys have done, and it's really that's a feel good story right there.
Denny, I didn't know you collected cards, brother. We're
Definitely
gonna have to
a great story.
I also collect cards. We can swap some cool cards.
Yes, sir.
Get him, Gene.
Hey guys, look here. We're gonna get into our predictions, and we're gonna start with, we got a video. AJ Russ from ESPN 97.5 in Houston. He couldn't be on with us today. But he did. He sent a video, and AJ made his prediction. So it's kind of a short video. So I kind of want to hear what AJ has to say here. So we're gonna hopefully, look, I am outside, guys. So hopefully we'll get through this video. So let's see what AJ had to say about Super Bowl 60.
What's up, Sports Kings family? Just wanted to share with y'all my Super Bowl 60 prediction between the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots. To me, I think it's going to be not necessarily the closest game, but I think it's going to be like a 2-possession game, something like that. And I have the Seattle Seahawks winning in 30-17, and a lot of reasons for that. That defensive front and the back end in their secondary. Talking about Devin Witherspoon, obviously linebacker-wise, Ernest Jones, Tariq Woolen, Nick Imawari. He is, it looks like he's questionable, but I wouldn't be surprised if he still plays. Obviously, a young player, rookie. He's been playing at a high level. They're really a chess piece for that Mike McDonald defense. And I think they're going to play at a high level in this game. Defense really does travel. Sam Darnold, for him, really the key of the game is just to not turn over the ball, be very complimentary in the running game. I think that their offensive coordinator, Clint Kubiak, is going to have a nice game plan for that to get the ball to Kenneth Walker. Cooper Kupp has already been in the Super Bowl, so I think he can be an integral piece. Same thing with Jackson Smith-Njigba. I see obviously won Offensive Player of the Year too. I just think this team is a little bit better, honestly. Maybe not even a little bit better. I think that they're just better, period, than the New England Patriots. No one really expected the Patriots to be in this position anyways. So, shout out to them. Like I said, 30-17, 2-possession game, not necessarily a blowout, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was one. But yeah, I have the Seahawks winning this game, honestly, and there's no disrespect to Drake May. I think he's had a phenomenal season, but people are going to come to question about their schedule, things of that nature as well, too. But their defense is played at a high level. Milton Williams, Justin Barmore as well, too. Their secondary playing at a high level, too. So it should really be an emphasis for the Seahawks to have their offensive line be ready to send two and chippers all at the defensive line for sure. But I have the Seahawks winning 30-17. Let me know what y'all think. I've been saying for a while now, really since the playoffs started, I thought that the NFC was going to have the Super Bowl winner for this year. So y'all let me know what y'all think. Keep being blessed, guys. Have a great show. Grateful for y'all always. Looking forward to talking about a lot more football this upcoming season. NBA too, potentially. Y'all keep me updated for sure. But appreciate you guys. Always love y'all. Have a great show. Yes, sir.
All right, man. AJ is always doing it up, man. Great stuff from AJ. Look here, guys.
You see all the inflection in AJ's face and in his voice, and that that dude practiced that speech in front of the mirror 18
Right.
Yeah, he was locked in like 30-17 for sure. Honestly,
AJ's gonna be taking over somebody's job on the ESPN network, man. We had so much fun working with him at ESPN 97.5. So yeah, he took the time out. Unfortunately, he had a funeral to attend. So the fact that he was able to put a smile on his face and make this video for us was pretty fascinating. So look, let's just jump right on in, guys. We gotta do what we do here. Jacob, I always like putting you on the hot seat, man. Super Bowl 60, right? Tomorrow. We're talking about a little bit over 24 hours before the big game. Who's going to win Super Bowl 60 between the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots?
All right. So I know I started this show saying that this game might get a little out of hand. It's not going to be that close of a game. AJ brought up a good point, right? Nick Imawari, or however you really pronounce that last name. The heart and soul of that Seattle defense, the kid. The low ankle sprain does worry me. And going into this game, everybody's going to talk about how these are two defenses that are clashing, right? They're very good defenses. I don't think it's going to matter. I think this is going to be more of an offensive game. And I like the score that AJ picked. 30-17 was good. I'm going to give it a little more juice, right? I'm saying if I were in Vegas right now and I were putting money on it, it'd be 31-24 Seattle. I do think that Seattle's going to take this one away. I think Seattle has more offensive firepower. I love Diggs. I do. I love Pop Douglas. I love all of the running backs, right? Ramondre Stevenson gets a bad rap because of the 13 million fumbles, but he is a good running back. And then you have Travion Henderson, who's been absolutely a flash in a pan all year. But I just think that overall, Seattle has the better offense. And if you can call the defense as a draw with New England's defense getting healthy, with Milton Williams being back and whatnot, I would say that the defenses are close to a draw. I would say that Seattle's defense is a bit more opportunistic. But outside of that, they're pretty close. So in that, I'm going to lean towards the better offense. And I do think that Seattle has the better offense. You can make the argument that Drake May, being as young as he is, might be slightly better than Sam, but the rest of it doesn't fall in line. Seattle has more firepower. And I'm taking Mike McDonald, and I'm taking Seattle's offense to win this game by a score 31-24.
All right. Denny Sharma.
Man, okay. I started the show too thinking, all right, well, it's going to be a dogfight. And it sounds like I got the popular pick. So, but there's some other angles the way I look at it, right? Okay, so I also think the Seahawks will win this game for all the reasons we all been talking about. And I'm not just going with the popular vote, but I'm saying is coming into the playoffs, the NFC was strong. We all said that. We saw it, but I think it's going to be a really, really close game where my pick is going to be the Seahawks. But if I was a betting man, not only do I collect cards, Jacob, but I also bet too. So if I was a betting man, I would bet the Patriots because plus the points because Vegas is just too damn good on this thing. So I'm going to take the Seahawks 28-24. And the spread is 4.5. So if you're betting the Patriots, you still win. So that's my pick. And when I said I didn't have a dog in the fight,
this guy.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, fight on. Fight on. Yeah.
Well, you lied to us. I knew you had a dog in the fight, man. Come on now. All right, Diddy. All right, downtown Wayne Brown. Who's gonna win Super Bowl 60, man?
Well, I'm going to go totally against what we're all saying here. I'm taking Seattle, but I'm taking them in a landslide. I think we're going to have a landslide of a game here. Now, New England, they depend on their defense to set their offense up for scoring. And, Sam Darnold has that little history, but I think that he got that monkey off his back now, and I think he's ready to lead this team to a dynamic win. And I see a dynamic win of 42-21. Taking this by.
Wait a minute. Now, it's funny that you picked that score because when me and you were at Jack Murphy Stadium back in 2002, that was the score. I think that was the score of the Super Bowl when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers beat the Raiders. It was a blowout. The game was over in the first quarter.
Yeah, I want to say Tampa Bay might have put up 52 points that game.
I mean, it was the game was over in the first quarter. And the only thing made the game interesting that we was at the damn game. But if you were watching it on TV, you probably went and watched the episode of last year or something crazy like that. But I don't know, guys. I'm not gonna go that far, Wayne. And look, and let me remind everyone listening that Dustin Pfeiffer did pick the New England Patriots. So he's the lone wolf here on this show. And if Dustin wins, guys, he's going to be talking a lot of trash. But look, I'm going to go with Seattle as well. I'm going to go 27-24 Seattle. So, yeah, you're right. If you're betting, you might want to take those, 4.5 points, right? And get that money. But look, I think because I think Vrabel's defense is just, this guy's a good coach, okay? I mean, you got two good defenses on the field. I just think Sam Darnold at the end, it is just not New England's time yet. I mean, man, how they got there. Look, they didn't have to go through Buffalo to get there. Maybe regular season they did, but had Buffalo went on and taken care of business, who knows who we would be talking about. But they're in there, and I think Vrabel's not gonna. Vrabel is an experienced coach in a comfortable place that he's been in, and that's the Super Bowl. So I'm gonna go with Donald because man, this guy has just had so much thrown at him, and man, to be able to just stick it in the Vikings' face because I'm still pissed at the Vikings for letting this guy go, but it might have been the best thing that ever happened to Sam Darnold. I got 27-24, and the Seahawks are gonna be winning that championship, guys. So excited about this, guys. Great show. Hey, the fact that downtown Wayne Brown showed up today, I know Seattle's going to win.
Hey. And I'm gonna tell you one thing. As much as I'd like I hate Josh McDaniels as a head coach. I love him as an OC, but their offense have not been doing much in this playoffs, other than the 4 turnovers from Houston that allowed them to score. Their offense haven't been clicking the way I think it should be clicking in these playoffs. So that's one thing I'm concerned about. And then as a Raider fan, I want to see my head coach light it up.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's going to be auditioning.
Yeah.
You know, we talked a lot about Braves on this show. Tennessee's got to be kicking themselves, right? Like they hired Bob Salah, who's another defensive coach. He's a terrific coach. Don't get me wrong. I think that he was scapegoated in New York. He was a good coach for New York, but Tennessee's got to be kicking themselves, kicking Braves to the curb. And then they end up doubling back, hiring another defensive coach. Their OC is right. So Tennessee's in this spiral of never getting out of the same hole that they've been in for a while Braves is in the Super Bowl again, this time as a coach. So what a fantastic turnaround for him.
Yeah,
What a fantastic turnaround. Jacob, I'll see you next week. I'm out here in Southern California until the 13th. So I'll see you when I get back in Houston. Downtown and Denny, I expect to see you guys here in the next few days while I'm out here.
Sure.
But we're gonna end this show because I just got a warning, a surf advisory warning. So I'm getting ready to take my ass out there on the beach and get in the waters, man. So guys, hey, enjoy Super Bowl 60, have fun, drink and be merry and all that great stuff. And we'll see y'all back here. We'll do a post Super Bowl show and see if we were all right. So hey, have a great one, fellas.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Sir.